So we're Southern Phone, a telecommunications business, been around for 20 plus years. Originally started from a government grant to connect regional communities in Australia and was owned by 20 odd regional councils across Australia. I think it was 2019, we purchased by energy company AGL. Products we offer: mobile plans, SIM plans, broadband plans, and home phone plans. A lot of the customer base is grown from those regional routes where the company started all those years ago, I guess. From um, a sales and marketing perspective, which is the big engine for that digital experience, is our conversion rate. It's how quickly we can or how effectively we can take a session or a user and convert that. So yeah, it's probably the key one we watch. There's varying levels of content, but it comes down to, I guess, three main pillars or sections. So the first would be, and arguably the most important, are our terms, conditions, critical plan documents, customer terms, all those promotional terms, all those sort of regulatory based documents that we need to have available to customers at any given point in time. Some of those files are created as web pages, others are created as PDF documents that are hosted within .now. The second part would be our products. So it's the product landing pages, but also the commerce management side of things. We've got a fair few different unique pieces there. And then the final part would be help support news and blog articles. So it's the more usual rich text formats. For us as a business, we wanted to unify our digital management, our content management, but also our e-commerce management. And we also, the big part of it was we wanted to be on a platform which was, I guess, perceived by us and our business as a more stable, more reliable partner when compared to our previous sort of setup. For sure, the reliability is a big thing, and I guess the security of the platform compared to our prior partner as well. If we don't have for instance, our critical documents available, a lot of the time, 99.9% of the time, or our plans aren't available to purchase reliably all the time. And for the first point, we're liable to big, heavy regulatory fines for not having our documents accessible at all times. Basically, every little piece, every character needs to be checked either by compliance and regulations teams or by a telco legal counsel that sits either within the business or externally. So fairly stringent, I would say. Probably being an essential service, we're constantly scrutinised by regulators, especially because Southern Phone is owned by a very large company that's often looked at by regulators. Every little bit of content, whether it's a news article, a help article, a new product, a new headline on a certain tile on an obscure page, everything needs to go through compliance. And the second part is we get the sales and marketing departments that, if the site's malfunctioning, it's not passing products as it should be. So it's absolutely essential.
Yeah, well, it was actually the catalyst to change in this case. There was an issue on the previous platform around support when things weren't quite the way they should be, and that took a very, very long time, which it just couldn't afford.
Like for us as a team, it's meant quicker speed to market, some more of those intangible metrics, I guess, which working in the business we do really care about. There's less context switching between different platforms because we have that unified management as well. In terms of results, it has really been night and day. Moving from two tools to one tool is innately going to be a better thing for us.
We definitely chose Headless for a number of reasons. One, integration requirements, high level of integration required with proprietary systems that Southern Phone already running. There are also quite specific requirements on the front end. It's quite a design sort of driven website, so it combines function and a little bit of beauty, I would say, compared to your stock standard e-commerce type site. They were running multiple type front ends, so there's not just Southern Phone, there's some other stuff happening in other places as well. So we needed multi front end kind of scenarios, which eventually turned out that Headless was the best choice to do that.
Once we decided to move, which is probably closer to the real start date, it took us, I think, a month and a half to run sort of migration scripts and get everything up and running. So yeah, timeline was month and a half. 2 months max from end to end.
That timeline is correct, although there was already a lot of work done prior to that. So I would say if you were to go from end to end, you probably add another 2 months to say, okay, we had this and now we had that. So if we did it in one go, it probably would have been 4 or 4.5 months. I will say we've been doing headless projects uh, for a few number of years now. Very early on, we jumped on that bandwagon. Is it for every client? No, it's not. Does it have to be for every client or project? No, it doesn't. Are we headless fans? For sure, but that's probably because we do a lot of back-end work, a lot of integration work, a lot of things that require a lot of things to happen, and we often find that separating the front and the back, having some piece of middleware that manages a lot of integration type work, it just makes it a lot of easier. And I think in this instance, it has proven the right choice because we had to change CMS from one headless CMS to another. Had we done that in a traditional sense, the project would have been like much larger. There, it turned out to be a benefit. So I think people nowadays talk about composable and unified experience and all sorts of buzzwords. Ultimately, do you choose something that is, monolithic in a sense, or do you use something that's highly flexible, or anywhere in between is where the answer lies. So would we recommend it to every client? No, we don't. Do we love it? Yes, we do. But that's for reasons other than it being the buzz. From the future, I think uh, yeah, it's exciting to see where we can drive it as a telecom business and stand out. And the guys at Southern Phone are, they're always open to new things, or to drive their presence in the market.
While we have to stay abreast the next regulatory change that we need to make, the thing that myself and Peter's team are really excited to get working on is um, a bit of a responsive design uplift compared to what we have currently. So that's going to be a big undertaking in the new financial year. Just make things a bit more legible, accessible, I guess responsive across all formats. I would say having a partner like Peter's team at New Orange, that's invaluable, just full stop, I guess. Having their expertise embedded closely with your business as well was essential for us feeling confident that the project, when we were ready, could move forward and get done effectively.
I think for people who are just entering the research around the CMS world, I think if you do that purely on what you see online, you're probably missing out. It's very hard to compare. I would strongly suggest demos. Do that with a partner who already have significant experience in certain areas. Make sure there is some there is agnostic in that you get what you really require. I think we've spoken about that a lot before. That the headless CMS world is large. To find the one that really suits you is not an easy exercise. So for that, you need to deep dive in, and that plus trust a partner that already has significant experience, perhaps in your vertical or similar like projects. That would be the main thing to speedy that up. But if you have time, um, review, check not just the fancy stuff, but also how it integrates with any other system you may have and how that would work. We're lucky we involve our devs. We check the technology to see can we actually work with that? Can we extend that? There's a lot of common technology in a lot of them, but then there are specifics to each of them, and you need to really understand those. So the selection process is a very important one. Obviously, I'm on the partner side, so I would say never do that without a partner. Find a good one.